each other. So where we have an acid and a base, and we use this apparatus. This thing is called a Burette, and this is called an Erlenmeyer flask. So we have these two things, and they react with one another to neutralize each other. Okay, and I said when you read or hear or whatever neutralization or titration, then you must think of that equation. What is that equation? It is a relationship or a ratio equation of an acid versus a base. Okay. These moles that we have on the left-hand side is the theoretical mole that you find in your balanced equation. And this on your right-hand side, concentration times volume is your mole, your actual values that you've had. Right. So, it says that in the titration, you have so much of sulfuric acid is neutralized by so much and so much of potassium hydroxide. Find the concentration of the acid. Okay, so we said the concentration of the acid we want to get, the concentration of the base was given, the volume of the acid was given, the volume of the base was given. Both of them was in centimeters cubed, and we don't work in that, so that's why we convert it into decimeters cubed. But now we wanted the mole of the acid and the base, that mole there. Where do we find it? In our balanced equation. So that is why we started to write the equation, and we balanced it, and we saw the mole of the acid is 1, and the mole of the base is 2. So acid is 1, base is 2. Right, now we're going to substitute our values. So this is 1, concentration, mole acid over mole of base is equal to concentration acid, volume acid over concentration base, volume base. So that is the formula that we have there at the top. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. Where did I get that? There and there. The concentration of the acid is what we want to get. The volume of the acid is 12.3 times 10 to the power negative 3. The concentration of the base is 0.3. Volume of the base, is 20.5 times 10 to the power negative 3. Just calculating. Seppo, please tell me, how are you going to calculate this? What are you going to put into your calculator? I really can't hear anything you say. What are you going to divide by? So are you just going to press in your calculator, divide by 12.3? There must be something that you divide by that. My question is, what do you type into your calculator? Say again? Oh, okay, so you're going to say a half and then divide by, okay, sharp. 12.3 times 10 to the power negative 3, and then? No, you're right up until there, and then you get you're wrong. This is just a lot of things, but it's the same as having 1 over 2 is equal to x times 10 over 5 times 2. Yes. Yes, cross multiply. Tell me what you type into your calculator. But say again. Type in, let me see. The rest of you as well. I want to know, what are you going to do in the exam up until there? Yes. The answer should be 0.25. Okay, grade 11s. The fact that you guys struggle with this, some of you, is worrying to me. Okay, this is things that we did in grade 10. Okay, now I'm going to do this slowly, quickly. Now, I see there's a few different ways in which you answer this. But from here, CA is at the top. You want it there. Right? You want it at the top, so you leave it there. So you are going to do what? You're going to multiply with this to get this away, and you're going to divide by this to get that away. So you have a half here, and you multiply by 0.3 times 20.5 times 10 to the power negative 3, and you divide by 12.3 times 10 to the power negative 3 equals to CA. So can you see I took that to the top, and I took that to the bottom. And that is what you type into your calculator. Obviously, you can leave out this one. Some of you did it a bit longer. That's fine. And then you get 0.25. Oh, welcome back, Ritabile. I'm only awake now. Okay. Yes? Sharp. Okay, next one they ask, what mass of sodium hydroxide is needed to neutralize so much sulfuric acid solution? Okay, now you read the word neutralize, you think of titration, you think of this formula. Okay, so again, we start with our info table. Mole, acid, mole, base. Concentration, acid, concentration, base. Volume, acid, volume, base. Okay, now you know that this mole, acid, and mole, base, where would you find that? In your balanced equation. So we need to go write down a balanced equation using these compounds. So we have sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid. And what products will form, Orna? Go to page E9. Taking a wild guess now, but I think it's 9. Okay, page 8. So close. What period did you guys just have? Why are you guys so quiet? This is unheard of. Like, are you all alright? Not awake yet? Sick? Oh, okay. Here's Orna. Like, even Khali is quiet. You alright, Khali? Here's Orna. Yes. The rest of you, are you writing it down? Do you know what will form? Did you check?
Yes.
Yo, Cloney, I'm looking so forward to your exam. I'm going to mark yours first. I'm dead serious. Yes? And what? No. An acid and a base gives you a salt and... Okay. Seba, are you happy with what she has as products? The way she's written them down? Or not? No. Sia? By the what?
The sodium.
Yes. Sodium is +1, sulfate is -2. So you need 2 sodiums. Now we need to check if it's balanced. 1 sodium, 2 sodiums. No, 2. 2 sodiums, 2 sodiums. 1 sulfate, 1 sulfate. 2, 4 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. We need to put a 2 in front. Remember, this is a diprotic acid with a monoprotic base. Mono, 1, di, 2. So we need 2 bases for 1 acid. Alright, so now we know the mole ratio is 2 to 1. So its base is 2, acid is 1. Okay, what else do they give us here? They say the volume and the concentration of the acid. The volume of the acid is 40 milliliters. We don't work in milliliters, we work in liters. So times 10 to the power -3. And the concentration of the acid is 0.25. Yes? Okay, now you see they did not give us any information regarding the concentration of the base or the volume of the base. They actually ask what mass, the mass of the base. That is what they ask. What to do. Mamar said, if I read neutralization and titration, I immediately go to this formula. Right? And my Marx is never ever wrong in her entire life, so I do what she says. Obviously, that is a joke. I'm wrong at least Yo, 10 times a day. Is it embarrassing to be wrong?
It depends on the situation.
It does depend on the situation. But if you are wrong, you apologize. And you do better next time. You should apologize, Kutlano. Are you a Christian? It says humble yourself. Alright. Okay, guys, we're not going to go here. Sorry. I will stop preaching. But it's not embarrassing. Okay. So, my mark said I must go to this one. I'm not stressing, even though I don't have everything. I'm not stressing. I'm going to fill in what I have. Okay? So, the mole of the acid is 1. The mole of the base is 2. Where do I find that? From my balanced equation. The concentration of my acid is 0.25. The volume of my acid is 40 times 10 to the power negative 3. And then I have nothing to fill in here at the bottom. Because I don't have that, I don't have that. To do what to do. Okay, let us think. Don't have anything to fill in here. And they actually want us to calculate the mass. What is concentration times volume, Niakalo? Yes, my question is, what is C times V? 2 moles. So here we have the mole of the base. Now that mole of the base that we have there, that is the actual mole. The actual mole that you've added or need or whatever. So this on the left hand side is your theoretical mole. Your recipe, your mole, your balanced equation. This here is your actual mole that you must add. And if you calculate that, if you calculate the actual mole, Kutlano, what do you get? Now remember, this mole is at the bottom. We don't like it there. So we take it to the top. And we take this side. Yes. 0.00. Don't listen to them. You have 0.05. You are wrong. Why are you wrong? Let me see what you've typed in your calculator. So that one is right. But that half there, you want to get rid of that half. So how can you get rid of it? Okay, so times lower. Get rid of the half and times by 2. So not times by half. Yeah. Okay, so grade it is 2 ways. You said you times. So you can either say, right, I have this mole base is now here. So to get rid of that half, I must multiply by 2 here. Or you could have said this whole thing divided by a half. That's the same thing. Get the same, or dividing by a half and multiplying by 2 is the same. And then you get 0.02. Okay, now that is the mole of the base. But what was the question? What is the mass? Is there a way that we can go from mole to mass? Yes, is that formula that we have mole is mass over molar mass. The mole is 0.02. We want the mass, the molar mass of sodium hydroxide is 23 plus 16 plus 1. And that gives you what, really? Oh, sorry, I actually want the molar mass of that, but that's fine. I think it's 40. And then, yes, you get the mass to be 0.8 what? Grams. So this question will count 5, 6 marks. Okay, now the next question is actually a question from an exam paper. It says a learner adds so much hydrochloric acid. Then they ask, write down a balanced equation, calculate the initial moles of that present, calculate the moles of that needed, which of the two substances is in excess. So that first 4 questions, I want you to quickly do on your own. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do so.